Hello. Should I just stay seated?
Feel free to stand, feel free to sit, however you feel comfortable.
I think I'm nervous enough to stand up.
Okay.
So first of all, hello. My name is Bram. I came here because I saw the infographics on the Changemaker Instagram, and I am currently a medical student in the student board, precisely the political study department, something. So. Yeah, this is what you get when you're nervous. So basically, I am quite interested in the advances that you've made when you were still 12 years old. I think we can all agree that all the young people now have that talking about at the back of their heads that the government is already going against its own people, and to make a change now it's just the same as making the enemy of the government itself. Long story short, that I am quite actually very interested in this. I have wrote this down. I forgot about it. So how are we supposed to make a change that can be a catalyst for a culture change? Because as we know that to make a change sustainable, you need to either make a community around it, or you should make a systematical change that actually forces people to go with the change. So the question is, how are you supposed to do that when the government is going against its own people, and not in the sense like you need to go forward, you need to do, but the technical things like about advocacy, about your what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get the question.
You get it.
I get the question.
Thank you. I'm sorry this is taking so
No,
long.
no. Not at all. And I know your bravery and for being here today. What you're talking about is that systems change that we need to create, right? And we have at the end of the book, so I have 100 lessons, but at the end of the book, I have a list of 100 names of change makers who you can continue learning from. And the reason why I do this is because I'm inspired by the individual actions that everybody can take, right? And the 100 names afterwards are really pioneer change makers who are great examples and great role models. But each of these 100 change makers know the importance of exactly what you're talking about, the larger systems change. Because we can all take action, but if we don't have a systems change, if we don't have policy change, then we can only go so far. So this cultural shift that has to happen, it's already happening, right? We're seeing young people saying, I don't want to fall into even a working culture from 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. So here we're seeing a shift in culture of workspaces. We're also seeing a change in the way we're using technologies or the way that we're buying things. Gen Z shows a trend of wanting to invest more on sustainable products versus buying something cheap that we know is connected to something really, really bad. So we're seeing cultural shifts, but this only happens through brave role models who dare to show and lead by example. So that's again the power of individual action combined with the belief that collective action is possible and needed. So they both have to happen at the same time. And why it doesn't happen at the same time is because a lot of us are too afraid to sometimes get started, right? So that's why when we see role models like the 100 change makers, we can start to find allies. We can start to find community. Because it's also, we become more powerful when we're many. We're easily looked at if we're just one person, right? And that's also the power of Youthopia, where we have thousands of students on the learning platform. We have hundreds of change makers that are leading the way, standing up against their governments in their parts of the world, creating technologies, creating communities, gardens, artwork, in many different ways, because the movement of change is already here. It's not something that is going to happen, it's already here. And so this is the shift, I think, what makes this time that we are living in very unique, because governments around the world are starting to feel this pressure. Governments and systems are starting to recognize that business as usual can no longer continue. But if we as individuals come together as collectives and add our voices so that we become a movement, so that we become the new representative of the new systems, then I strongly believe in a new world that is possible. So although it sometimes can feel really difficult and really frustrating, I hope that you don't give up and continue to find inspiration. In my last chapter, it's titled An Invitation to the World. And I structure it like this on purpose because I think also we're in a time where we have to stop pointing fingers and telling everybody what to do. I think we need a movement of inspiration that invites people to change.